Hey guys, I'm Ezzy and we're trying something new today, Dungeon Run Spotlights. Videos of full dungeon runs that I've done during the week, sometimes with commentary, sometimes without. Not all runs will be perfect runs, so that means wipes are included, and that means in today's run as well. Now one last thing before we get into it. In the community tab I've put up a post to collect feedback. Let me know what kind of content you'd like to see on the channel. To start things off, we're looking at Black Rook Hold plus 26 with Fortified, Afflicted and Raging. As we start, we're going to be going to the right hand side and we're going to be pulling just one pack at a time. The timer is pretty lenient, and if you pull the first 2 packs then you have to deal with 3 casters, which we just don't have the interrupts for to deal with. Counselors are the casters and they have the absolute priority here. They're always going to have a priority unless the protector is casting Sacrifice Soul. Now Sacrifice Soul reduces damage taken by all adds except for the protector himself, who actually takes increased damage while channeling this. So you need to swap and damage the protector as long as he's casting this. Once the cast stops or the protector is dead, switch back to the counselor to finish him off. Right, so we're going to have our first afflicted souls here, and as they spawn, our enhancement Shaman uses Poison Cleansing Totem to deal with them. This lightens the load on the healer a ton because he needs to dispel the soul blade dot that these retainers will cast on random targets. And as you can see here, it will stack if they target the same player. Okay, so all the trash in this first section is quote-unquote fun, but the second pack contains 2 casters. Yay! 2 counselors but no extra interrupts. Luckily you can use AoE interrupts with things like Roar, group stuns with Wake of Ashes, and knockups to keep interrupting them. It will be more complicated to coordinate all of that, and we definitely have moments where 2 group abilities overlap, but it will help you a ton to deal with the casters as long as they're alive. Alright, so the last pack before the first boss is the mini-boss, and as it's fortified we're going to use Heroism here. Again, deal with the counselor first and interrupt every cast. This is going to go wrong for us when we have to switch to the protector, and while we recover from it, it could have easily been a wipe. As you might notice, after the tank and melee die, the adds actually focus on my pets first, which gives the healer an extra second to battle rush the tank and prevent a full group wipe. Okay, so as we recover and we kill the protector, what I really should be doing here is focusing my damage on the mini boss and just cleaving the retainer down. However, because we nearly wiped, I just want to reduce all the damage on the group that I can, so I instead choose to do the opposite. As we continue on the mini-boss, there's really 2 notable abilities to be aware of. There's the glaive toss with a very clear circle, which of course no one other than you should be standing in, but there's also the frontal on the tank called strike down, so only the tank should be standing in front of the mini-boss. Now normally we would be much more aggressive in our movement. With just the mini-boss left, we'd start moving towards the first boss while making sure that the tank is ahead of everyone so that no one is hit by the frontal, but we're playing really defensive now after that near wipe, so the tank opts to stay here with the mini-boss pointed towards the wall instead. Okay, that's finally dead, let's head towards the first boss. There's really not much to say on this one until the intermission. The tank takes into a corner to reduce the space that the cone takes up, and you move when you have the Soul Echoes debuff or are targeted by the Swirling Scythe. Right, so here in the intermission there's one crucial thing that we do other than killing the ads, and that's that we root 1 or 2 ads with entangling roots. If you keep an ad alive and rooted after you kill the others, you can go back to just DPSing the boss, while the boss just stands there in the middle of the room. It's really a great way to have free DPS time on the boss if you have a class that can root them, because sadly full crowd control such as freezing traps doesn't work on them. This free DPS lasts until 15%, at which point the boss decides he's had enough of being a piñata and finishes his intermission cast anyway. Right, so after the long RP, we're gonna go all the way up the stairs and deal with all the small spiderlings. The stacking magic debuff on the tank hurts like a truck on higher key levels, so our tank will even kite them to reduce the amount of stacks that he gets. After they're dead, we continue up the stairs and then we'll wait for the patrol and focus on the scout. Knife dance really hurts and you need to interrupt it with a stun or disorientate. Once it's dead, we continue into the next room and here everything is a priority. Everything just hurts. We start with quickly stunning and killing the arcane minion, and at the same time you need to have an interrupt rotation on the arcanist. Each time an arcanist gets a cast off, he's going to get a stacking buff increasing his damage. So if you fail and do let a cast go off, dispel the buff if you can, because otherwise someone's going to die. But wait, there's more, because when we focus on those abilities we also need to not forget to move out of the cones from the archers. Anything and everything can kill you in these packs and it's very easy to miss something. Oh yeah, there's the champions in there too. Thankfully the tank just faces them away from the group so that the cone won't hit us. Okay, so as we pull this next pack, we're just waiting on the patrol to move in as well. We want to kill the cat as quickly as possible so that we don't have to deal with its debuff anymore. It's also the first of the packs that has 2 scouts in it, and we're about to see that if even a single knife dance gets missed, it'll have lethal consequences. And there we have it. Boomer sadly goes down because we were too focused on the cat. From here on, it's a repeat of the different abilities in a couple more packs, and mistakes will result in a couple of deaths. As I die here, I wait too long to release. I can't be rezzed after this pack because the next pack will spawn right away and put the group in combat. So as I make my way back, I hang back a bit to make sure that I don't die again due to a lack of aggro. I instead wait for the pack to engage with the group. As you can see by the marker, the rest of the group is hiding behind a pillar so that the trash can be line of sight and can be grouped up on top of each other. Once they've run to the tank, I can run in and we focus on the scouts to get rid of them as quickly as possible. Alright, trash is dead, on to the second boss. I just used camouflage to heal myself here while the healer is being rezzed. As you can see, hero is off cooldown now, but we're not going to use it yet. Instead we'll be using it on the trash after the second boss. On the boss, it's the basics, we don't do anything special. Stay away from others if you get targeted by Brutal Glaive, and if you're targeted by Dark Rush, move close to the other targets, so that only a small portion of the room is covered in fire. In the intermission we kill off the Arcanist and then we cleave the other ad as we focus the boss. I get targeted by I-beam the entire time, which is all fine and dandy because I can just continue to DPS and keep the fire together as much as possible. A great thing about being a dwarf is that you can just stone form off the 30-second debuff from Brutal Glaive. It's a real shame when she casts on you again so quickly. Okay, so a more dangerous trash pool now, but also a fun padding the meters type pool, where we use hero to burn them down as quickly as we can. And that's not all we do. Among this pile of mobs there are scavengers. Whenever they cast a drink potion, they need to be interrupted by stuns, knockbacks, or disorients, so that they don't become empowered. Here in this next pack, it's the first where you really see the consequences of the Raging affix. For most packs we have enough enraged dispels with myself and 2 druids, but here it's all scavengers going down at the same time. So they'll all reach 30% health, and while some will be dispelled, some will be CC immune. This double Blade Lord pack will hurt the tank. In addition to the Brutal Assault cast, which should be stunned, there's also the Enrage. Thankfully there's no scavengers in this pack, so for our group comp it's easy to remove them all. Right, so after the long stairs gauntlet, we move to the other side of the room while the tank goes up and collects the first 2 bat handlers. These dominators will alter the Fell Frenzy cast, and you need to get them all. So we communicate who interrupts which mark next.
Somewhere. Someone is standing.
I'll take next circle.
I want star. Stack me if you can. Oh, that's done coming. Go to next circle. Un and Darren star. Yeah. Un next on star. Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
Got totem perfects.
After the first 2 are dead, we move up and pull the second 2 with all the bats. We use AoE stuns for the bats and repeat the way we handle the dominators. Unfortunately the tank will go down here, but after battle resing and some kiting, we manage to recover and handle the pack the way we intended to. Once the trash is dead, we go straight into the boss, and after a hotfix, this fight has become much simpler to deal with. The hateful gazes haven't changed, you just rotate who gets hit and gets the debuff. But what has changed is the fell fire lines. You can now clearly see what the path is, and that allows for much cleaner positioning of where the fire will land. The only exception is of course if you get targeted by both the charge and the line at the same time. You don't want to move and get the charge to hit the wrong person. That being said, this hotfix is by far my favorite they've done for this Mythic Plus season, because it gives you so much agency over dealing with the fire lines. Once the boss is dead, we have 2 trash pools left. The main thing in both packs is to not stand in the center of the rooms where we kill them. It's very easy to get clipped by the swirls if you don't move right away, so you want only one person to be dealing with it at a time. To top it off, in the last room the bear rug hides the swirl, so don't stand in the middle. Okay, final boss, let's go. Man, this one hurts. Compared to the other bosses, this one's tough just because of the amount of damage that it deals. If this were 26 tyrannical, we would be getting one shot from the random shadow bolts you can do nothing about and have no clue as to who will be hit when the ghost casts it next. To reduce the risk of things possibly going wrong, you really want to just use all your cooldowns on the pool and get phase 2 as quickly as possible. Yeah, you really need to move immediately, because if you don't, this happens. So, in phase 2 the key things are to use your personals for the first Shadow Bolt volley, and to do everything you can to get rid of the stinging swarms ASAP. Paladins can bubble it off of themselves, and they can use Blessing of Protection to get rid of it on another player. One last thing, do be careful at the start of the rotating beam phase, because it can decide it's going to rotate the opposite direction of the one it started in. Other than that, there's really not much to say about this fight.
3,
cannot
2,
comprehend that
1.
which you face, mortal.
You look quick.
Nice. Where?
How dare it change direction.
Yeah, that fixed, I think.
I got it. Whew.
Okay, nice little. Holy shit. Barely see it, something.
He's really making us work for our first time 26.
Yeah, that's for sure.
3, 2,
Wipe it.
1.
Yeah,
Nice GG.
Nice.
I will count on it.
good job.
Whenever you come,
GG.
Nicely done.
we will meet you, and we will defeat.
And that was our first timed plus 26 as a group. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you thought of this video format. And let me know if you'd be interested in videos of the runs that don't include commentary. These full commentary videos actually take up a lot of time to make, so there wouldn't be one every week. If you liked this video, please like, subscribe and share it with others. I would very much appreciate it as it helps with the YouTube algorithm. For now, I'm Mezzy and I'll see you again next time.